Hail, Pandawans, journeymen walking that illustrated path. I've had a bunch of questions from people in the comments on my YouTube channel, Twitter, Instagram, all that, and they would like to know what are my thoughts on AI. You know, people have actually said that they have stopped drawing or intimidated to continue drawing because of AI. And that, I think, is what I'd like to talk about here. Not the relevancy or the ethics of it, the morals of it, whatever. Let's talk about why would you let something stop you doing from what you were born to do? We were born to create art. I remember creating art back when I was, 4 or 5 years old, sitting at my grandma's fireplace. And I was drawing in the back of coloring books. I didn't want to color the images that the coloring book gave me. I wanted to make my own stuff. So eventually, she didn't get me coloring books. She got me a pad of paper, sketch pad, copy paper, things like that. And that's where I would create. And that's the thing. If we can get a job in the industry and creating artwork, and I've been lucky enough, hashtag blessed enough, whatever it is, to find a job where my artwork would allow me to make a living, have a family, have kids. But that's not why I started doing art. I started doing art because I was an artist. And artwork has been my constant companion since I was, like I said, 3, 4, 5 years old. It didn't matter what was happening in the world, didn't matter what was happening in my family. I always had this muse, art, to be able to create and express my feelings, the things I liked, my emotions. I was always able to turn at in the early days, crayon to coloring book, or in the older days, or the next days, pencil to paper, and now digital. I can put stylus to Wacom tablet and create things with pixels and polygons and things like that. But that's what I was born to do. That's what many of you are born to do, to create art. So this latest thing coming out, whether it's AI or when I was coming around, going from 2D pencil and paper to now this digital art is out with pixels. And then when that kind of came to pass, and it's like, no, now it's not like 2D anymore. Now it's 3D. You got to learn these programs. It's like, oh, I'm going to get replaced from people who know this program better than I do. Well, as artists, we're an artist. It doesn't matter what the tools we are. We're going to learn the new tools and adapt to them because we're artists. We're creative. But take all that away. The greatest gift that we have in the world is this ability to create art. And I did this before I worked at Blizzard. I did this during, and one day when I'll be doing it after. I will always be creating, hashtag. I will always be creating art because that's what we're born to do. Now, when I hear people saying that they see AI and it scares them and they don't want to create art, it's like, well, remember what you're creating art for. You're not creating art for the paycheck. You're not creating it for the prestige. You're doing it because you're an artist. And I can speak for myself. When I create art, whether it's on pencil or digital or 3D, it's some of the happiest moments in my life. And the greatest thing about that is you're getting close to, you start off with a picture, it's just a sketch. And then you start roughing in the shapes, and the forms, and the shadows, and the light. And then you start doing the coloring. And now you're like, I'm at the end of my picture. Okay. That's one of the happiest moments in my life, is finishing a picture. And the next happiest moment, even more so, is going, great, I'm finally done with this thing. I can start the next piece of art. And that's the greatest thing about being an artist, is we have this constant companion in our life through the good times, through the bad, through everything. And I don't mean to trivialize it, but take away the ability to, well, I can make a living doing it. Well, Pandawans, journeymen, artists, you're going to be doing art regardless if it's your day job or if if it's just you doing it on your own time. Imagine that, being able to create something. You have a blank piece of paper or a blank screen, and you're able to put down in pencil, pixel, polygon, paintbrush, what comes from your heart. Can't spell heart without art, right? And it's something that you've created that wouldn't normally be in this world unless you did this. You can give this art to your family, to your friends, to your children. It's something that will live on longer than, our time on this world. And maybe if we're lucky, it could live on hundreds of years, centuries, works of art. Hell, the damn cavemen are still getting props for their paintings on the wall. It's lived on forever. And all that was an artist saying, I really want to paint this picture of me and my boys, killing this dinosaur, this mammoth, whatever it is. But they would have been doing that regardless because they're artists. And I think that's what we need to remember. Don't worry about the technology replacing you. It's not going to, because there's only one you. Maybe it can mimic you, who knows? But again, go back to the beginning. We're not creating art. We're not giving a part of our soul and our spirit and emotion for the paycheck. It's great if that happens. And I realize that, new technologies can replace old technologies, and that's scary. But remember, at the end of the day, we're artists, and we're going to be creating art no matter what. Never let anything stop you from expressing, your creativity, your soul, your spirit, whatever. It's something that's going to be a part of us until we move on to the next world, right? I know that, and I've said this a time or two on some of my other videos, and maybe it's selfish. I know that my last thoughts are not going to be, I wish, I hope my family's okay. I know this. Selfishly, my last thought is going to be, damn, I wish I was able to finish that one picture, or I wish I was able to do one more picture, because that's who we are. We're artists. We're creative. We have these thoughts and these stories. And this goes for musicians, writers, everything. We're put here on this world to create. And I think that the more that we can create, the happier we will be, the better our families and friends will be, because they will have this artwork, this music, these stories that we created. And hopefully it'll be there long after, we're gone. But take away all that. Say we make this art and it goes nowhere. We still, when we were here creating this artwork, we can look at this picture and go, man, this is the best thing I've ever done. Or, oh, this is good, but I will do better next time. So take away all that other stuff, all your worries and all that. The worries are going to be there no matter what, but it should never stop you from creating what's in your heart. Take that heart and take those 3 letters, the art, and put it on every page, every pixel, every polygon you make. And that's all I have to say now. So, artists, never fear, never surrender, right? Keep creating that art. It makes you happy. If you're happy, the people around you will be happier. You have these pieces of creation that you've made that your kids can see. Maybe their kids can see if you're lucky. The stories that you've told, you can tell them to your kids. They'll tell them to their kids. And it all boils down to the damn thing I'm always talking about. ABC. Artists. Always be creating. Never let that stop you. Never let some program or some new interface or UI or any of that stuff stop you from being an artist. That's all I got to say now, Pandawans. Keep the faith, and ABC, always be creating. Hail!